Paddy, way back in 1985 with Rebels here at Galaxy. Nice to have everybody on board. It is 18 away from 11 o'clock, 21.2 degrees downtown. Apparently it's about 50 F or something like that if you're in the other side of the world, but it's hot over there anyway, so they're going to enjoy that. It is Tuesday the 8th of July. You're right here at Galaxy, and I want to welcome everybody on board, but first of all, let me do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, believe me, absolutely fascinated because we have Mission Road joining us. Believe me, you're going to love it, coming out of West Virginia, and we're going to kick it off with here at Galaxy. Sorry, I had somebody talking to me at the same time. Dear Lonely Hearts, you're right here at Galaxy. All good. Right. Okay. As we go through, I'll give you stats, bits and pieces, and the real stat that you guys want is the one at the end.
Okay.
Reason being, you see, we're in every English-speaking country in the world, and some that aren't. Now, I don't know how that works, Christina, but I'll take it. I will. But
that's right.
The one at the end is how many devices are tuned in listening to this on the radio, all the IPs and stuff like that. Now, we don't know if it's one person or 10 or, a warehouse full of people, which, is rather weird. Would you stack them up or stand them up? I don't know. A warehouse full of people. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, even if one person's listening, that's all that matters.
Well, you'll be surprised. I promise. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
When we first started this about 11 years ago, Barbara and I, and we didn't initially start doing this, we actually started getting drunk on the radio on a Monday night and inviting friends on Skype, if you know what I mean, and they were getting drunk, and before you know it, there was people all around the world getting drunk with us on a Monday night.
Awesome.
But our board said, that's not a good look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come up with something different, but we like the Skype idea, so Barbara and I started interviewing bands, artists, stuff like that, and we were kind of thinking we might be lucky to get about 10 people at best. Wait until you find out how many people are listening today. Believe me, you'll be very surprised.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
Did we talk about the magazine? Yeah? Okay, fair enough. After we finish this, I'd like to have a chat to you about putting you into a magazine that we're associated with as well. A little bit more promotional stuff than what we can do. You know what I mean? So please don't go anywhere after the end of this. And well, I'll apologise now. Okay?
No need.
Nice. Anyway. Welcome to Galaxy, guys. We've got about 30 seconds to go.
All right.
This is fun.
That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, believe me, absolutely loving it, because we're talking to Christina and to Elliot coming out of the band Mission Road. Welcome to Galaxy, folks.
Oh, wonderful to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. I've been looking forward to this for a while now.
Well, you might need to see a psychiatrist once you finish with this. I don't know anybody that looks forward to these. I really don't. So you're one out of the box. Well done. By the way, if you do need a psychiatrist, well, I've got one on hand for you too. I can recommend, just in case.
Sounds
You never know.
great.
Yeah,
It's a long way to go for a psychiatrist.
well, they do it the same way we're doing it these days, don't they?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you just
Yeah, virtual.
punch in your credit card numbers and we'll sit there all day and have a chat. It's all good. No worries. Nice to meet you anyway. And I want to give a big shout out to Caden Gordon for promotional extraordinaire. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Wearing the T-shirt. That's very, very...
Keep it on now.
Hey. I'm not going to take my shirt off. You crazy.
I said keep it up.
Yeah, can we move on?
Sorry.
I've just got this vision. No, I'm sorry, Christina, but that's not my fault anymore. Somebody's planted this vision in my head. Opened up the show with Dear Lonely Hearts.
Watch that figure now.
Tell me all about this track.
Yes.
Please. Oh, you're talking about Dear Lonely Heart?
I am.
Well, that was co-written by my late father. And it was originally recorded a long time ago by Nat King Cole. And it actually went to number 13 on the charts. And part with our album that we put out, the one that I think you have with the 13 tracks, we wanted to do tributes to our mothers and fathers. And my late father, he wrote the lyrics to that song. At the time, he was working for one of the performance rights organizations called ASCAP. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Well, in the U.S., they clear performances on the air, so he actually had to write under a pseudonym. So on the credits, it says Emil J. Anton, but it was really my dad, Norman.
I get it. Well, yeah, I really did feel that it was a cover. We had a little look throughout the history books, found that particular track and thought, well, they're claiming it's theirs. I'm going to have a chat to them about this, but I think it's a great version. I really, really do. Now, I've got to ask you, Christina, how long have you been singing?
I've been singing since I was 4 years old. Not very well, but I sang when I was a little girl. And music has always been my life, and being a singer is something I've always wanted to do.
Well, let me interject there, literally. Now, I'm the one that doesn't sing very well, literally. Well, I sing tenor, or maybe 12 miles away from anybody that can hear me, to be truthful. But I'm also an engineer. I've been an engineer now for about 47 years, and we hear music every day, literally. Barbara gets about 200 plus submissions a day that we have to cut through and then work it out with the board and everything like that, so that we can squeeze it all as much as possible anyway within a month's period. You know what I mean? So we only choose the best. Yeah. Now, literally, Barbara gives it to me. I have nothing to do with it up until the point where Barbara gives me a little USB device that I Bluetooth it to my stereo in my car. Now, don't get me wrong, I got a really good stereo in my car, but that's where I make a decision of whether or not I want to interview the artist and or band. It's based on the music. Now, I get absolutely no information. I don't know who the artist is, what the name of the band is, or even what the song is. It's just the music. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's great.
The reason why I do it in my car too, by the way, there's two reasons for this. First reason is, when we first started doing this, all the staff were saying, you got to interview this, and it was getting a bit much, if you know what I mean. And being an engineer myself, I've been not only front of house with some of the biggest names in the business, but also worked in some of the best recording studios as well. So I've had the luxury of not only going live around the world, but working in some very, very exquisite equipment. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I know what I'm listening for. You get it? So therefore, that cuts out everybody saying, hey, listen, interview this band, interview that band all the time, getting a bit. The other reason is nobody else wants to drive with me.
Uh-oh.
Well, they don't like going sideways as much as I do.
But it's fun.
It
You
is.
have a great sense of humor.
Yeah. Do a couple wheelies. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. You see, where we are, we're in between three major cities here on the east coast of the North Island of New Zealand, in a little milling town, about 7,000 pop, if you know what I mean. It's only a small little place, surrounded completely by forestry. And I know where they keep the keys to the fire breaks.
Yeah.
So I go and listen to music as often as I possibly can.
Well, we live up on a mountain. It's one of the foothills, I guess, of the Blue Ridge Mountains here in West Virginia, and it's 78% wood cover. So this forest, this is forest, the Shenandoah River. You know, like the John Denver song. That's exactly where we live.
Now, you're in Harper's Ferry, is that right?
Yes.
That's yes. We're in the Harpers Ferry zip code, but not in the town itself. We're outside the town.
I get a little shy of talking about zips, to be very honest with you, so we'll leave that one out. I do have to ask you, now I do have a young lady, her name is Susanna, and she's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. She's asking, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Or are you a talker? But more importantly, do you respond?
Oh, I always respond unless it's somebody that sends us a message like on Facebook or Instagram. They're like, "Hi, even anymore." I mean, they just want to take your money and.
But to answer the question,
But I'm getting there.
MissionRoadMusic.com.
That's the website. But don't interrupt me.
Oh, thank you.
So on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, pretty much every social media platform, you can find us at Mission Road Duo.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Now, at the same time, I do have a young man by the name of Rodney. He's coming out of Greymouth in the South Island of New Zealand. Not often that we get people calling from New Zealand, but he's asking, guys, do you have any merch? Have you got a merch store? How do I get a t-shirt, a cap, a koozie, and maybe a couple of guitar picks?
All right. Well, we have them. If you want to send us an email, missionroadduo@gmail.com, we can send him whatever he likes.
Very, very cool. And I tell you what, maybe you might consider giving me one as well. I'd be more than honoured to be able to wear your brand while I do this. And believe me, you know, I don't know how it happens, but people do, for some reason, manage to go on the interwebby, go and buy a couple of products while I'm actually doing these. So if you can figure out how it's done, I don't know, it might help. Anyway, moving on. I'm holding on. Tell me all about this.
Go for it, Elliot.
Oh, wow.
We have different interpretations of this song. I'll give mine first.
Okay.
You go, Elliot, I'll do mine first.
I feel like this song is about this girl that's at the bar and she's like sick and tired of her man ignoring her. So she goes and she finds comfort drinking to the point where she's hoping that he finally wakes up to pay attention, that he's losing her. That's my interpretation.
That's interesting. You know, you've never given me that full interpretation. But for me, it's like a coming to Jesus moment. You know, it's you're sitting at the bar, right? And you're like you said, you know, you having the Skype get-togethers and all that, and but here you are at a bar, and it's hey, you know, what am I doing here? And that's pretty much what that song is all about.
Fair enough. Well, I tell you what, 1,712 people have requested it since we've started playing, so not bad.
Wow.
You're doing okay there. In the meantime, thank you for joining us here at Galaxy, joined by Mission Road. I'm holding on.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Maybe we should do a tour in New Zealand.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said maybe we should do a little tour in New Zealand.
Yeah, do you?
That song is on the national chart. It's number 68 on the media-based activator chart.
Very, very cool.
With some real unlikely characters, you know, like Miley Cyrus is on that chart. Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
You know,
I've heard of their song once or twice.
yeah.
How many countries are tuned in this morning?
154.
Ooh, not bad. 154 countries tuned in right now.
Wow.
Wow. You guys are famous.
Oh,
World famous.
people know us.
Wow. That's really awesome.
Even my dog started cheering over that. Hear that barking?
Yeah, I did. So did mine. Mine heard that too. Yeah, it takes a bit to get her interested in anything.
Yeah, right.
If it doesn't involve food, nah.
Do you want the other number?
Do I want the other number?
The city?
Yeah, how many cities are tuned in?
6318.
Okay, 6,318 cities around the world are tuned in right now.
There's devices and cities.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So awesome.
that's not bad. It's not bad.
No, that's really awesome. You know, it's hard to get people's attention. For you to get that many people's attention, you must be doing something right.
It's my looks.
Like I said, you have a great sense of humor. What is your T-shirt? What is that? What is that guy holding?
It's Terry Van Cannon.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's he's coming out of North Carolina. He's a steel guitarist.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and
The lap steel.
his missus, or his good lady, he calls her the Muse, and sort of it's a tribute to her, if you know what I mean. So
Okay.
And he looks similar to that.
she has a. I'm sorry.
Hey,
He does what?
no, it's a good. I like it.
That's not what you said.
Carry on.
That is absolutely not what you said. Carry on. Oh, fine. Now you got me confused. Dear idiot.
Y'all are so much fun. I love it.
I'm confused all the time.
Welcome to my world.
It's just the
He's
thing
the
that there
bond
is.
of this partnership.
We got 15 staff here. 90% of them are women.
Wow.
No wonder us
You're
guys are
number-
confused.
I understand completely. So you know you've been engineering since before she was a gleam in her dad's eye.
You know, I kind of partially got that over the song as well. So something about I can engineer it. Was that right?
You've been engineering since before she was a gleam in her daddy's eye.
That's really, thank you, mate. Cheers. I'm only 21, really.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not that far behind you.
That's okay. Believe me, everybody is behind me. I was the DJ on the Ark. I promise I was. Yeah, they said They said 2 by 2 up until we only need one of him.
Goodness.
Dear.
Elliot always thinks he's the oldest one in the room.
Yeah, well,
I know
that's how I
how.
feel, son.
Yeah, I know how he feels. Literally, now he's one of the youngest, right? Gotcha.
Probably.
At least at heart.
But he's not younger than me, haha.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you know something? It's nice to be the baby of the family as well.
It has its pros and cons.
Fair enough.
Well,
Okay.
more pros. More pros.
I absolutely don't know how to be the baby of the family, seeing I was the oldest one. Truly.
In my family, I was the baby of the family, and that meant I didn't get away with anything because my brother and my sister wore my parents out. So I was the one that had the harshest rules.
Yep, believe me, I fully understand that. I really, really do. Being the oldest brother, believe me, I was an absolute terror. They started off with the black sheep and got a little paler as they went along, you know what I mean? They really did. And I did my damnedest to make my brothers the black sheep as much as I was, I will admit that. We've had some fun. We really, really have over the years. And Mum, she had this... you guys call them flip-flops. We call them jandals here in New Zealand and or sandals or something like that, right? My mother in the summertime, believe me, we'd have all the windows open, right? And she would be going out with my aunties, heading up to the shops to go and do some shopping for the week or something. She'd get to the gate and she would stop and listen. Whip off one of his shoes, boom, like a boomerang, would go flying down the hallway into the bedroom, smack off the back of the head, out the window, back onto her foot, and she's walking down the road like nothing happened.
That's great.
That's funny.
That's a true deal. She used to do stuff like that. She was very good at it, but she was Scottish too, so she wanted her shoe back rather than go and retrieve it. You know what I mean?
That's right. The boomerang shoe.
That's right.
Kind of was, really. But having said that, my friend, I really would like to know about Loretta's mashup. Now, this is a fantastic piece of work. Tell me all about it.
So we had mentioned earlier that we wanted to honor our parents on this album. So Elliot's mother was a coal miner's daughter. So that's why we chose that song. And, or that's why we picked that song. And Blue Kentucky Girl is my mother's favorite song. Both were written and recorded by Loretta Lynn.
So as we were working them up and rehearsing, I suddenly realized that these songs have a similarity to them that you could mash them together and make some sense out of it. And just one thing led to another, and there we were. I was, and I kept modulating on the piano, and it just, I don't know how it happened, actually.
We just had a lot of fun, and honestly, it only took us 30 minutes to figure out how to mash those two songs together.
So we would, it's a tribute to our moms.
Yeah, fair enough, and believe me, I'm loving it. I really, really am. You're right here at Galaxy. Today we're talking to Elliot and also Christina from the band Mission Road, coming out of West Virginia. You're right here at Galaxy with Loretta's mashup. It's getting hot in here. 28.4 degrees. Come on.
I am so glad you picked these particular tracks. You are, you really, it warms my heart because...
No. Elliot, stop there. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. I really didn't. Production put it all together, but it's actually Barbara that chose all the music.
Well...
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Barbara. You picked the cuts that are nearest and dearest to our hearts.
Nice. Well, she's got taste. She's got taste.
She's
knows
so
what.
good too. Whenever you play one of our songs, she'll message us, and she shows a screenshot of what's coming up.
Mhm.
And the first time that she played Dear Lonely Hearts or Loretta's mashup, I was like, oh my gosh, Elliot, we haven't even released those songs as singles.
Okay.
But you are making them a single for us. And that is so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, we're very grateful.
Well,
Very grateful.
believe me, we are the home of only good music, and I promise. We only play the best in the world, and we consider that with your music as well.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
truthful.
you.
Very truthful. Excuse me. I'm a bit of an asthmatic, so I do apologise.
Oh, no need to apologize.
You've got about 3 minutes to go, so I've got a quick question for you.
Oh no.
Oh no, she goes. Oh good.
What next?
Here we go.
Oh wow. Okay. Wait
I'm
for
trying
it.
to get to the bottom of a myth. Now, I've been trying to figure this one out for a good number of years, so maybe, just maybe, you guys might be able to help me. Are you guys vegans by any chance?
Are we what?
Vegan?
Vegans?
No.
No? You're a meatologist like me? You like to have a good steak and good barbecue? And
Yeah.
Okay. Might be a hard
I
sell.
love
then.
meat.
Might be a hard sell. Have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, one of the bracket.
And I've never tried a black bean burger either.
Oh, neither have I. So you and I are both there.
Sounds
But
horrible.
the reason why I'm asking is, are they made of real vegans or not?
I don't know.
Neither do I. I'm trying to find out.
Well, we have a booking agent locally who's a vegan, and he doesn't look too healthy to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Right.
Look a bit grim, does he?
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
They all kind of have that pale look to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Extra pale look.
Exactly.
Not pale.
You know, every year I put out a sign twice a year for winter and for summer. You know, the different salads my lawn has. Just bring your own snippers
In container.
and container. You know, help yourself. I don't mind.
Right.
If you want. The truth is, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was doing an interview with an executive from Johnson & Johnson. You know the products?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that I was going to be doing this interview, so I got my receptionist Sarah to race down to the local supermarket and pick me up a couple of products. One of them was the C3 liquid stuff, and the other one was the powder stuff, right? And as I'm doing the interview, I hold up the C3 liquid stuff, and I went, look, you know, Johnson & Johnson. He goes, yes, that's one of our products. And I looked at it, and I went, says baby oil. He goes, yes. And I says, so how many babies goes in a bottle? Interview was over. They haven't returned my calls in years.
That.
I like this guy.
Yeah, you're our kind of people.
That's right, you're at Galaxy 107 FM. And today we're talking to not only Elliot, but Christina as well from the band Mission Road. Now, the band's name comes relatively from your road you were staying on. Is that right, Christina?
That is correct. We were trying to come up with a band name, and I wanted something cool and fresh. And Elliot wanted to name the band like Simon Alexander or something really boring like that. And I'm like, come on now. Like, we're not in the 60s or 70s. We need something really cool. And so somebody had mentioned, well, how about Mission Road? And I was like, you know what? We are on a mission. Let's just do it. So.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, at the same time, Elliot, you're the major writer of the band. How long have you been putting music together like this?
Well, I don't want to put a year on it, but not quite as long as you've been an engineer. Let's put it that way. But getting close.
Yeah, I was around when somebody discovered a burning bush and had to go up on a mountain. You know what I mean? So, I've been around that long. I really have. But I understand because the quality of the work is superb. Let's put it that way.
Thank you very much. Well, my dad was a songwriter, and so he inspired me. So I went down that path, and I've written a lot of songs, and I couldn't find the right outlet for the songs for a long time until Christina came along. Once we started singing together, I mean, just like magic happened. So that's I give her a lot of credit, and we're starting to write songs together now. We have two that we've written together that are going to be on our next EP, LP, and but thank you. Yeah, I'm blushing, but that means a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I thought it was the reflection of the years, actually, but never mind.
Right.
But having said that, my friend, basically you're telling me that there's another EP coming out. So will you continue to send us some music?
Absolutely.
Well,
You guys have been such a huge support for us. You guys play us on repeats. You play multiple songs. And one of the things that's so great is you value your artists. There are so many stations that don't play songs repeatedly. They might play it once and then that's it. You guys are loyal, and we really appreciate you.
Well, I don't know that we're loyal. You see, the thing is this, and I'm going to put it up in a nutshell, that we have a family and we call that family the Noise, literally, because they are damn loud. They really are. They're not shy about emailing us, phoning us, texting us. Believe me, we get the whole enchilada, literally, and they don't mind telling us per artist, per track, what they like. So, and when I get to work, and believe me, I get to work about 9:15 of an evening, I come through reception. I got to go through reception to get to my office. So our lovely receptionist, Sarah, leaves out 3 USB devices. One is named Stats, the other one's named Paperwork, yay, right? And the last one is simply named Noise. Okay, now Stats let me know how we've performed over the day as far as not only our work progress goes, but as our listenership goes around the world and stuff like that. I get to know basically the tower blocks, the cheese wedges, all of that good stuff that comes along with statistics. It's very, very boring, but at least I'm informed, especially when I have to go back and say, what's this about? You know what I mean? So anyway, the second one, of course, things that must be done, including pay wages, all that sort of stuff. So paperwork done.
Oh yeah, there's that.
The last one I take down to production about 1:30 in the morning. And 2 guys in production, of course, one's called Toblerone and the other one's called Gonzo. One's got a Gonzo on his desk and the other one likes chocolate, okay? So our nicknames for them. But I give them the USB device. That runs through a program that figures out exactly how many artists and how many tracks have been requested, most of all throughout the 24-hour period. It puts it all together and gives us a breakfast show. So it's not any of our staff here going, we have favoritism, we're going to put this band in over and over and over again. What it is the rest of the world that are saying, Grant, we love this music, play it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that is the indication of how we manage to see and hear you on our breakfast show every morning. Literally, we see you very, very often. We really, really do. And we're very proud of that because people out there are taking notice of you. And that's important.
I don't even know what to say to that. Thank you so much.
Now she's blushing.
Shut up, Elliot.
That's just the hard truth of how we work. We actually do not choose the breakfast show. We have a machine called Otto, which is automatically doing it for us. You know what I mean? So, when I get into the studio here about 5 o'clock in the morning, it's already programmed in for 6 o'clock. So, and away we go. And
Well, we appreciate you giving us a chance, to be exposed to your audience, and we're really grateful that your audience has responded to our music because that's our life. That's the most important thing to us.
Yes.
apparently, you have a big following in Germany.
Really?
We do?
Which I think I think that's rather interesting, to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
So, no, my on-air producer says
Wow.
huge following in Germany. So, danke. Danke very much.
Dankeschön.
Yeah, dankeschön.
Oh my goodness.
Used to
My
drink.
German family must be very proud.
There you go. Now, used to drink whiskey. Which one of you did that?
Well, I used to drink whiskey, but she still does.
And I watch TV sometimes. He does not. The only thing he watches is the blue screen from his laptop or his phone. He doesn't watch. He watches podcasts. That can be considered TV, right?
Elliot,
Yes.
Elliot, I thought I was the only person that's never watched television. Yeah, I used to watch TV, but when I, got into radio, unfortunately, I've never found the time to watch television.
Me either. And it takes so long to find something that's any good that I don't bother.
If I want to see something, I stream it. So there's no commercials. I don't have patience for commercials.
No, I listen to radio, whether it be internet radio or, sometimes satellite radio. I'll listen to an info kind of podcast. I like to know what I should be eating or how I should be taking care of myself or something like that. But it's music and information, and TV doesn't give me either one.
So it's really funny because, Caden, shout out to Caden Gordon. He's wonderful.
Well, let me tell you something here, Christine. Just got this in from Caden. He says, give them my best, and tell them to keep on blushing.
Well, it's funny because Caden knows that Elliot is kind of like a little health guru in some ways. And so there's a running joke around our music network that they say, no wonder Elliot looks so great at 120 years old.
Only 120. You sprightly young man, I tell you what, used to drink whiskey. Here's Mission Road. I knew I was talking to a teenager. 120, gosh. Here in New Zealand at the moment, we have a thing called the Society of Protection for Cruelty to Animals, or the RSPCA if you come from England. They at the moment, I see in the news this morning, are taking on the government about round bales of hay. You guys live near farms and stuff, don't you?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I found horses.
You see those big round bales of hay?
Yeah.
Well,
we live in the most agricultural county in West Virginia.
Well, you might be able to understand this then. The reason why the RSPCA or the SPCA are taking on the government is they don't think the animals are getting a square meal. Waiting for
They don't seem to what?
be getting a square meal. Yeah, well, round bales, square meal. It'll hit sooner or later. There it is.
It took me a while.
Oh, gosh, you're going to be telling everybody that joke now.
I tell you what, if you forget about the jokes, just go back through the video that you get later on and you'll understand them, you know what I mean?
He's the king of dad jokes, okay?
Are you? Oh, well, we're going to have a dad off at some stage. I'm really good at this.
The Grateful Dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like the sun. Why didn't the sun go to university? Or already got too many degrees?
Oh, God. I thought maybe it wasn't bright enough.
You got too many degrees.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I was just piling on there. You know, we're going to be in the studio tomorrow night working again. We go in every Monday or Tuesday into the studio, and we've got maybe a half a dozen tracks that are almost ready now.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, we would love to continue our relationship and continue to play your music. And a little later after we finish this, and please don't go anywhere because Barbara's going to want to take some pickies. You'll get a copy of everything we do today, and
Great.
Barbara will have it up on YouTube within minutes of us finishing this. Believe me, it'll be going global very, very shortly. But she'll also make a movie for you, including the pickies and stuff like that, to which I'm sorry about that. I really am. You'll understand when you see the pickies, you really will. And I'd tell you what, have you guys ever been a cartoon before?
A cartoon?
Yeah.
I was a character once where I was drawn as a cartoon.
Okay,
You are
well,
a character.
you're still a character, but I don't know whether you look good as a cartoon. Barbara makes me a cartoon every day, right?
That's so cute.
Until I was in a random supermarket we're in a random car park in Rotorua, about an hour away from here. I'd come out of a lawyer's, we'd been signing some notary stuff, decided to go and buy some supplies at a supermarket. I'm standing in line, this old lady's getting all her stuff done and she keeps staring at me. I'll tell you the rest of the story in a sec, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're talking to Christina and also to Elliot from the band Mission Road. And now the story as far literally was, believe me, you're going to find this rather amusing. You really were. Standing at the checkout, this little old lady continues to stare at me and stare at me. I'm watching the beans go through, I'm watching all the cold stuffs going through, the ladies doing the checkout thing, and she's looking at this little old lady staring at me, and she's sort of smiling at me, going, a bit weird, yeah, I'm going, yeah. In the end, you just go, hi, can I help you? Why are you staring at me all this time? She goes, you look nothing like your cartoon. Are we pardon? I don't know. I mean, this lady must have been all of, well, maybe 10 years younger than you. Maybe 110. But, and I was rather shocked. And I thought, now, why somebody of your age would you be looking at me as a cartoon? And she says, you're that DJ, aren't you? And I went, yes, I am. She goes, yeah. I went, how do you know me? She goes, my niece follows you on Facebook. And I went,
Aww.
gotcha. Absolutely. But how random is that, being in a strange city, in a strange supermarket, after leaving a strange lawyer's office, to go and buy some supplies and being held up as a cartoon?
That is the best compliment.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, my cartoon's more
You
famous
look similar to it.
well, my cartoon's more famous than I am.
You look similar to
It really is,
Well,
to be very honest with you. Now, we've come to the very last song that we're going to be playing for you guys today, and believe me, I am absolutely fascinated about this, but at the same time, this is your latest song that we have, Take My Hand. So tell me a little bit about this. I'm loving this track.
thank you. Oh my goodness. That was a dark period in my life, and I had just broken up with somebody who was really important to me, And I was like, I'm just like ready to go anywhere. And, an angel come along and take my hand and let me see where, get me out of here. I need to go someplace. And the song actually made me feel a lot better after I wrote it. The funny thing is that I used it. That was my psychology session, my writing the song, and I just put it on the shelf. And one day, it came to my head, and I played it for Christina, and she said, "Well, why don't we do it?" And I said, I don't know about that." And the rest, as they say, is history.
Well, the beautiful thing about Elliot's songs is that it's almost like he wrote these songs for me, because I relate 100% to every single song that I have recorded. So it's real emotion that you're hearing. I'm reliving my past through these songs, and it helps me heal from some very, very dark times. So when I was singing and recording this song, I went through some of the darkest times of my life, and I gave all my faith and love to Jesus Christ. And he is the one that came down and lifted my hand and pulled me up off the ground, and since changed my life forever. So I'm so grateful.
And this may sound weird, but a lot of the songs that I've written, it seems like they were about my future life when I wrote them at the time, which kind of blows my mind a little bit. But
I think we were destined. I really do. You're right here at Galaxy. Joining us is Christina and also Elliot from the band Mission Road. Here's Take My Hand. It was an ant. I got it.
That's paper.
You saw it. Okay. We've got an invasion of the ants coming
I know.
in. You know what that means, don't you? It's going to rain.
It's Caden said.
Yep, I got it.
And the arrangement for this song was a complete accident.
Caden says, told you they'd understand what I meant.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Caden said, told you they'd understand what I meant. I promise he did. He really did. I do promise that. If you can read that. I don't know. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I have 3 phones.
Yeah, Barbara has 3 phones. It confuses the police.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to confuse the police.
All they do is invade our privacy anyway.
So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
Well, pending on what you're doing at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Barbara and I went to India just a couple of years ago. We got invited over there to do some hosting of some shows. And the night before we left, I went off to a nightclub with some of my mates to say, see you when I get back in Auckland, because I don't catch up with them that often. And at the end of the night, my mate says, well, I'll race you to the taxi stand. I went, okay, right, because we knew where but he went one way, I went the other way, and I got to the taxi stand and stood there for about 10 minutes or so going, well, he's not showing up, so I'll hop in a cab and left, right? And I get a text from him the next morning. I says, well, where were you? He says, well, I was walking down this dark alley, and a lady walked out and says, business? And he goes, well, okay, fair enough. Well, I'll take you up on a bit of that. And before you know it, in the back seat of this car, away they're going, and the policeman comes along and pokes his torch in and goes, oi, what's going on here?
Oh,
And I says to my mate, well, what did you do? He says, well, I says to him, well, I'm having sex with my wife. And the policeman says, sorry, I didn't know that. And he goes, neither did I until you shone a light in here.
Oh, God, that is hilarious.
I used to be a stand-up comedian. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're
no.
loving it.
Yeah, you've got a great sense of humor. But I thought that married couples don't have sex.
Obviously, you're not married then, right?
That's funny.
I can't answer that. You'd have to ask my wife.
That's right. That's right. No, I didn't mean to get an answer.
dear, dear.
It was just a general comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you might be right. There's life on Mars, apparently. Dear. Oh, we haven't got time to do the Amsterdam one, really, which is rather amusing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Teams will cut us off, like
Teams
they
might
did.
cut us off very shortly,
You
yes, I
don't
know.
know.
I get that.
So they did in the
Yeah,
last
I do.
interview.
So what we'll do is we will wrap this up right now, and I really must thank you so much. It's been a pleasure catching up and talking to you. But please
Thank you.
don't go anywhere because we are going to take a couple of pickies. Barbara's worried about time because we only have a certain amount of time on these Teams things, so I appreciate everything. I really do.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really enjoyed this. You're a very special interviewer. You make your victim feel real.
I'm pleased you said victim.
It's wonderful. Really, I'm enjoying the heck out of this. There's so many interviews are just so dry. This is wonderful.
I'm sorry, I forgot to give the guys the shout, the nod to. Anyway, my fault. You're right here at Galaxy, and today we're talking to not only Christina, but also to Elliot from the band Mission Road. Now, guys, I must thank you so much for joining me here at Galaxy, down under in the Antipodes, and such a pleasure to have your music playing. Would love to be able to continue this on, and I look forward to receiving new music from you in the future. Will you do that for me?
Absolutely, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely. I've had a wonderful time.
Nice, and it's been such a pleasure meeting you both as well. But please don't go anywhere just yet, because we are going to take some pickies and bits and pieces, and you'll get a copy of everything we do. But for everybody else, please join myself and my co-host Barbara tomorrow morning between 5:30 in the morning and 10. Believe me, 100% best indie artists in the world, 100% Galaxy artists. You'll love it. You really will. Join me then. But in the meantime, thank you for joining me today. From me, it's Happy Radio, everyone.